Boom, here we go, guys. So, we are finally back with a proper episode with the proper lights and the proper name. This podcast is called The Magic Pod, and today, here, as the first official guest with me, is the filthy monkey of Indian Jiu-Jitsu, Sanjay Nambiar.
Let's go. Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a
So-
pleasure to be on episode 1.
You're
Awesome,
welcome, you're welcome. And we also have behind the camera Joe. Joe Salad, actually, that's his name.
Joey Salad.
And he's the guy who is going to co-host this podcast with me. So look out for his witty quirks that he enters the podcast with. So Sanjay, let's talk something which happened very recently. You competed in Strangle Nationals, right? So it was the 6th event that the Strangle did. You were also part of the team that hosted Strangles for the first season. So how did you feel as a competitor going into Strangle Nationals? Talk about that.
Yeah, I felt great. This was one of the first few strangles that I wasn't doing so much behind the scenes. It was I was basically just focusing on it as a competitor.
Right.
And yeah, it felt great. We did a solid camp going into it. Like no injuries, nothing was wrong going into a strangle. Worked on a lot of like scrimmage wrestling, things like that. The actual day of the tournament was also great. We did it at like a stadium in a school, and it was like a huge, probably
Auditorium, yeah.
yeah, it's like a huge
Air
auditorium.
conditioned as well.
Yeah, a lot of people came to watch, like competitors, friends, family. So like the whole energy in the room was like pretty sick. Yeah, but it was awesome. I had like 4 matches actually. Yeah, I just forgot about the last one.
Or the first one.
No, dude, first one was good, bro. I'm definitely not
It
gonna
was
forget.
forgettable for the other guy, probably.
Yeah, I think so, bro. Shabat's gonna block that out of his memory, but very memorable for me. But it was a good experience, bro. It was great to like test myself against like the top guys in the country and kind of see where I stand.
Yeah, so let me talk to you about more about competitions in general because you have been an avid competitor throughout your jiu-jitsu journey. First of all, give people who don't know about you an introduction, like how long have you been doing jiu-jitsu, where did you start, how do you get into it?
Sure, bro. So I started in 2016. This was in I was doing my undergrad in Colorado at the time, and yeah, I think I was just looking for some sort of like hobby or it's just somewhere to like stay active. I think the reason I actually started doing jiu-jitsu was like in high school. I remember like I used to talk a lot of shit to people, and
No wonder.
there's one time, bro, I was talking shit, I guess, to the wrong guy. He was his name was Robert Moritz. Okay, and
Was this the guy with who you were doing like a backyard
no,
fist
bro,
fight
that
with?
was actually in college. That's
Okay.
Steve. Love him, great guy. That was
So
years
why
down the
were
line.
you just trying to knock
Yeah,
each
it's
other out?
backyard brawling, bro. That's my second favorite sport after jiu-jitsu.
Jorge Masvidal fan.
Yeah, bro. But yeah, bro. So I was basically talking shit to this guy, and then I didn't realize at the time, but he was on the varsity rugby team, and before I knew it, like he double legged me and he put me on my ass, and then I was like, damn, I probably like shouldn't be talking shit to
The frail
people.
Indian dude getting doubled like by a rugby player.
Exactly, bro. Yeah, I was not a
Why were you talking shit to him in the first place?
I don't know, bro. I think that was just my thing in high school.
Okay.
Like I was like, yeah, like a funny guy. Like I just fuck with everyone, and then yeah, bro. It's funny until you get double legged, and then I'm like,
Right.
okay, yeah, I should probably figure out a way to defend myself.
Plus, your brother was also doing it at that time, right?
No, bro. I actually started. Then Prashant got into it.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I
okay.
got him into it. But what's crazy is Prashant got his blue belt before me, bro. I was pissed. I was like, fuck that guy, bro. But it's okay, bro. I got the purple before him, so no
Yes.
worries.
You,
Hopefully I get the black before him, bro. And then we'll see. But yeah, so then I started in Colorado in 2016, and 2017 is when I started like competing. And initially I wasn't like too big on competing. I was also doing school at the time and stuff, and it wasn't like a huge main focus for me, I guess. But then I guess what kind of made that switch for me is talking to John
John
Combs. Yeah, he is like obviously like an avid competitor. I don't think there's anyone in the US right now that competes more than John. Like obviously, yeah, there's a lot of competitions out there, and he's at
and
all
he's
of
been
them.
doing it for a while now. Like
Oh,
he's
man,
been
yeah.
on the top level for like past 5 to 6 years that we have seen. So I don't think there's any competitor in the US scene who does not know him, who is not
Oh, yeah,
friends
oh,
with
yeah.
him. So
Definitely.
he has that competitive. So yeah, I can see how you got it from John. So once you start competing, like a lot of people are of the mindset that they don't want to, especially in India, they try to hold on to
Yeah.
not from competitions, thinking that if I go to this competition I'll lose. So what do you think of that mindset? Why having a mindset of willing to lose an important thing to compete?
Yeah, I think so. There's a few things, right? So that first, again, I got that from John, right? From watching him compete, from some conversations that we've had. So he says this thing that will always stick with me is effort over results, in the sense that if leading up to the tournament, your preparation is great, you're showing up to training every day, your nutrition, your strength and conditioning, you're doing all of that stuff, then the results don't really matter that much, right? As long as you're putting in the work, don't focus too much on the results, because there's not much I can do about like how other people prepare for it, but the only real thing that I can control is like how much I put into it, right? So if you put in a lot of effort, and again, the day of the tournament, if you can survive a triangle for 4 or 5 minutes, there's no harm in losing at the end, or there's no shame, I guess, or so to
Yeah,
speak.
I think it's part of that same philosophy where you enjoy the process over being hyper focused on the results,
Exactly, bro.
because that just adds more pressure on it. And I remember you
100%.
saying that competition is already so stressful, and if
Yeah.
you add the meaning of results behind every little competition that you do,
You won't
then it will be
compete, bro. At that point, you'll put so much into like even the smallest tournaments. Like hypothetically, if you win one ADCC absolute and you start calling yourself the best, that's a little bit delusional, bro. You could
That's
say.
right. And that also national ADCC, not even like a ADCC trial
Yeah,
or
bro.
something.
ADCC India, imagine.
That's right. Let's move on and talk about your journey after that. So, how did you come to India? And let's talk a little bit about how we also met, because that's very
Yeah,
interesting,
bro.
right?
That's a good story, obviously. Yeah. So, like I said, it was 2016 to 2020 is when I was in Colorado doing my undergrad in psychology.
And you got a blue belt over there as well.
I did, bro. I did. Yeah, I got a blue belt under Amal, Easton, and John. Yeah. And yeah, I remember like I was back for one of the breaks. I was just 2018, 2019? 2018, I think, bro.
2018, I guess.
End of 2018, I think, is when we met. Um, yeah, I came back one of the breaks and I was like, yeah, I think I'd just gotten my blue belt like 3, 4 months ago. And I was like, bro, I can't wait to whoop on some dudes back in India,
Stunt on some Indian
Yeah,
guys.
bro, like blue belts a big deal, especially in India at the time. There wasn't too many blue belts. I think at that time
Rohit was a blue
Rohit,
belt,
bro,
yeah.
that shows you, bro, like what the level was. As in, obviously, Rohit was far superior than a blue belt at the time, especially my fucking blue belt. But so then I came back, and then I obviously looked up a bunch of schools near me, and then IJJ was like obviously had the best reviews and was one of the top schools in Bangalore. So made the journey out there, and I get there, bro, and like there's no one really in class at that moment. So then I'm like, okay, I'll just kind of walk around to see what's up. So I go to the balcony, and I see two monkeys, bro. No, I'm just kidding. I see Piyush and Nihal.
That was our favorite hangout spot in IJJ.
Yeah, and dude,
Balcony.
actually, monkeys would come to that balcony, bro. That's
It was
crazy,
a
bro.
famous spot for monkeys also, like Jiujitsu monkeys and the real
Dude,
monkeys.
that was a great
You
spot
know what's
too.
fun? That sometimes when the classes were going on, those monkeys would come, and we obviously had to shut on those big doors that we had,
Yeah.
the glass doors, and they would literally just watch through the
Jiu-jitsu.
window, and then they would just play with the siblings and try to replicate some of the
Dude,
moves.
that's what they used to do jiu-jitsu as well. The monkeys would
Yes.
come to that balcony and they'd start doing jiu-jitsu, bro. And like you guys were like homies with the monkeys. Like Rohit and all would be like,
Not really. Like I was super scared of it.
you know?
Once upon a time, one of the monkey also peed on me. So that's
Damn,
yeah.
bro.
So we were just sitting out, chilling,
Oh my
having,
God, bro.
smoking up, doing some random shit, and
Bro, what are
this
you saying?
monkey just sneaks up right in front, over the top of me on
Bro.
one of the tree branches. And then just, I feel a warm sensation on the back of my neck. And I was like, what the hell is this? I look up and it was monkey pee. Yeah.
What are you saying?
This was a legendary
Dude.
IJ story, yeah. So, guys,
Crazy, bro. Crazy.
monkeys, guys, I can't help it. No jiu-jitsu works against monkey jitsu. So yeah.
Damn. That should be a celebration in jiu-jitsu, right? Like next time I compete against someone, and if I really don't like
Cheers to
them,
the monkey pee.
cheers, bro. Submit them,
Boom.
piss on them, bro.
You
But
want
yeah,
to piss
bro.
on the monkeys?
Not on the monkeys, bro. But anyway, yeah, moving on.
Digressing from topic. Yeah, so You came, you saw me and Nihal. What happened? What followed then?
Yeah, bro, and you guys were like smoking a doob and we were just hanging out, chilling. And it eventually got to the point of the conversation where you guys were like, "Have you done jiu-jitsu before?" And I was like,
Then
"Yeah."
you whip out your blue belt.
I was like,
I think it
"Yeah,
was a
bro."
gi class when you came, right?
Yeah, yeah, dude, we were doing a lot of gi back in the day.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, bro, I was like, "Yeah, bro, I'm a big deal. I'm a blue belt and stuff." And then you guys, bro,
Obviously, you didn't say all of that, but I think we just asked you to roll.
yeah,
Because during that time, if anyone else was coming from the outside and was a higher rank than us,
yeah,
as a white belt or as a competitive white belt, you have that kind of thing. Ki, yeah, let me just test myself
for
against
sure, bro.
these guys from the outside and see what our level is.
Yeah.
Because you get tired and bored of rolling against the same gym people all the time.
And you want to like test your, like, see how much you've changed, like,
and
in the
you
3-4
compare
months.
against the world level people also, people who are competing in different parts of the world.
Yeah, yeah.
So then we rolled, I guess. Did I
And-
have a lot of weight to you back then? I don't think
No,
so.
bro, you were not
I was
as big as you are now, bro.
I was 72 kgs. At IJJ, I was 72 kgs, which is like wild to think of now.
Yeah.
Because I'm just 20 kgs heavier.
Yeah, bro, you whooped me, bro. You like every position, every guard,
But
passing.
one thing that I remember was that your guard was still very difficult to pass.
Oh, it's-
And especially in the gi. But yeah, I think ultimately it was a good role, and Nihal also rolled with you.
yeah, Nihal whooped me also, bolos and everything. Yeah, you guys were doing that back at white belt, bro.
Yes,
That's
so
something like I just added to my
Me
game.
and Nihal used to work like all day playing the bolo game.
Crazy, bro.
Study Polo Meow, and the influence came from Rohit obviously, because he was a big bolo guy, and
Yeah.
he used to have, like, still has, I guess, tremendous back takes from everywhere,
Yeah, bro.
and he had a slick crab ride game which I did not see in any gym in the country. And I
Insane.
still can't see that, because
Yeah.
crab ride is something which takes a lot of time to get used to develop the sensitivity in your legs and that art of chasing the back through bad positions.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is-
Rohit's got a beautiful game, bro. I think
100%.
he's done a really good job of transitioning his gi game to
To
no
no-gi.
gi, right? Where he'll use crab rides, all these inversions, and then he'll use that to get on top or use that to get into leg
Into
entanglements.
legs also,
And
yeah.
you'll see that like has had like an effect on Nihal's game also. So like that's a great way to use bolos. Basically like how Lachlan and all these guys use it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very, very slick game.
Yeah.
So we met there, and then you bounced back to US,
Yeah.
and then I'll carry the story from here.
Sure.
I then moved ultimately to Warrior Scope at that point of time, and then Warrior Scope shifted as a new brand, Combat Lab, into where the new location right now is at Rebel. So we were training there, and I get a random message from this guy, Sanjay. Hey bro, what's up? What are you doing? I was like, nothing bro, I'm training. So he said, Ki, are you up for training? And I was like, yeah, but you are thinking that I'm in Bangalore. I'm not, I'm in Gurgaon. And then he says, bro, I'm also in Gurgaon. I was like, what? Out of all places in India, why are you in Gurgaon? And then he said, no, I actually wanted to train with you guys, and my father also lives here. So yeah, so then you finally showed up, and yeah.
Again, got my ass whooped again, bro. It's just a constant cycle of getting my ass whooped. Like,
Every time you come India, people just keep leveling up.
yeah, bro. I remember I was super impressed with like the level in the room, you know. Like Rajas, who was what 17, 18 at the time, was like making notes for jiu-jitsu, and I was like, bro, what the fuck? Like, that's
He was
crazy.
still a gi guy back then, and till that time we had
Big.
transitioned to the no gi.
Bro,
game.
that's
the
when I was
difference.
playing Nogi Spider
Nogi
Guard.
Spider Guard.
That's my signature, bro. If I ever make an instruction, it'll be Nogi Spider Guard,
Joe,
bro.
you can ask us any question, whichever is coming in your mind. It's fine. Don't. I know you have. So Joe has been doing jiu-jitsu for now what, 2 weeks? Probably today was your first roll.
Yeah.
And how did you do?
Oh my goodness. Like I felt when I was taking a shower, I felt like how you feel when you climb a mountain. You're up there, breathless, but you feel great.
That's why you took like an hour to take a shower today.
Yeah.
Like, is he crying in shower or what?
But I guess it's the freedom, right? They say the darkest, deepest desire of a man is freedom.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Jiu-Jitsu gives you that freedom.
Damn,
You just
bro.
pick someone up, take them
Who's
down.
this day, bro? I want to. Yeah, but that's good that you're trying out jiu-jitsu apart from kickboxing as well, because this is something where you can get like really involved in, and you can go super deep down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. It's
So-
very tempting as well. More than, striking and getting hit on the face.
Yeah.
Doing this is kind of even feels safe and tempting. I don't know. I can't explain it.
100%. The safety part is definitely a true thing. If you train it like not like a madman, which you are not supposed to. So
Yeah.
Jiu-Jitsu out of all martial arts is something which we talk about a lot, that it can be trained super hard and still the intensity can be high and you can still train it relatively safely
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
tap in time and are not egoistical about it. So you came to Warrior Scope. What kind of development did you see in your game back then? You came to Combat Lab, right? That was the brand name back then. when you
Yeah,
came.
yeah, crazy. It was Combat Lab when I came. Obviously, that changed pretty quick to Rebel, but a lot of changes, bro. Like I was originally, like you said, like a gi guard player, so like I would only really stay on bottom,
Yeah.
and yeah, obviously I had a few like tricks with guard, but not really a system.
You
that
had slick triangles even back then. From
exactly, bro.
these kind of
Exactly,
guys.
and that was all from the gi, bro. Of like
Yeah.
getting grips and then just shooting those hips up and locking that up, right? So that was pretty much what I had. Good arm bars, things like that. But then what changed, I guess, was starting to follow a system of go to this. If this doesn't work, go to something else. And it's
Right.
like being more systematic about my jiu-jitsu. And obviously leg locks was a huge addition to my game, where
100%.
like I had the dexterity and flexibility to kind of invert, but I wasn't obviously in the gi, like we weren't doing a lot of like leg locks or cross ashis or anything like
Were
that.
we doing gi back then? I think we had. A
No, like I'm saying before
Oh,
when
back
I
at
was
your place,
yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, it was all nogi when I came here. Obviously, that was also a big difference. So yeah, bro. It's like I think the initially, it was just a lot of adding a lot of leg entanglements and learning different entanglements because I would be getting tapped all the time to different leg locks and things like that. So
Yeah, I remember very distinctly that you were very frustrated in the initial months when you
yeah,
were
bro.
just getting out leg locked by everyone in the room.
Yeah, yeah.
And even guy like Thapa, who was just recently learning outside relook, was catching you with that.
I think so, bro.
But
Tapa was catching me in all types of
yeah,
things.
but then you definitely worked on your leg lock defense, and I think that's the good thing, that you need to go with an open mind to a room
Yeah.
and then evolve with time. Even when I came to Voice Scope initially, my leg locks were good, my leg lock defense was average,
Yeah.
but then I had to work really hard because people were there were big leg lockers in the room, like Sean, as you said, Rajas was there,
Yeah,
Aman
yeah.
was a good one.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. I don't know how good Aman's leg locks are, but yeah. Oh, actually,
I
fuck,
know,
bro.
leverage.
Shit. Yeah,
Okay.
damn, bro.
Let's talk about. So I want to segue into this topic also. Gi versus no gi debate that's going on in the modern jiu-jitsu world.
Yeah,
Which side are you on, and what do you think of the future of one versus the other?
yeah. So I think, well, first of all, it's just whatever you prefer, right? If you, I think people put too much emphasis on like gi, no gi, but it's like whatever you enjoy. If you like doing gi, go for it. If you like doing no gi, go for it. But I think when it comes to marketing it as a spectator sport, it's definitely like seems like no gi is the way to go, just because of the ability to create scrambles and movement and more like submission opportunities, right? There's a lot of positions in the gi where it's really hard to submit people because they might have really strong
Just
grips.
Latch onto your grips. And
Yeah, and then it becomes a battle of like grip fighting rather than submissions, right? But in nogi, it's a lot more fluid. Like I can go for your heel, maybe you defend that, but then that might lead to like a back take for you.
Plus, there's a lot of upper body, lower body chains also that you can.
That's
do
what
more
I'm saying, right? So
freely.
you can chain more attacks in nogi.
Yeah.
But the gi is great for maybe people that are a little bit older or maybe just see jiu-jitsu more as a hobbyist kind of thing and they just want to do it just for fun and take it more chill. Then the gi is great, and you can get kind of creative with the gi and start choking them with different
Yeah, you can
lapels
control
and
the
stuff.
pace. So all those
Exactly.
are all those are advantages of the gi. Remember, I was talking to you like a few days back where I was telling that because I personally have been so far removed from the gi meta
Yeah,
that I'm missing some of the greatest talents in the gi right now, and one of them is
Tainan.
Tainan Dalpra. So earlier I used to be like a religious follower of the gi game and the gi meta. Used to study Leandro Lo, Felipe Pena, all these top guys, Nicholas Meregali,
Yeah.
and study their guard game, study their passing game.
yeah,
Lucas Lepri passing, I was a big fan
yeah.
of.
Lucas
that
is a
too.
beast, bro.
He was a beast. So all these guys I used to study, but since I started delving more into Nogi, now I have no time to study Ki because I cannot implement those things, right?
Yeah,
Because most of the Ki fight is also, as I said, grip fights, grip battles to win. Because if one person wins hip position and inside hip position cross collar grip, Now he's passing you from there. Now he's
Yeah,
flattening you out
yeah.
from there. And most of it does not really translate in terms of gripping strategies in the nogi.
Yeah.
So I find studying nogi matches is much more well worth of my time. Seeing the escapes that they use in nogi is a little bit slightly different.
Yeah.
But my opinion is that as a beginner, you should be doing both. You should be having like a feel of even gi when you're starting. Don't just be limited. Yo, my gym is doing only no gi.
Yeah.
I mean, in that case, you will have to buy a gi and maybe find someone who is doing gi with you.
Yeah.
But still train gi because it was fun for a long while for me.
Yeah. Bro, that's the reason we have such good guards. Bro. I mean, we're not great guards or whatever, but we have like pretty solid guards.
It teaches you good dexterity, like pummeling skills.
Yeah, bro, and like just inversions and being comfortable on bottom. That's something that I've noticed with some of our students at Rebel is like they haven't had that familiarity with the gi so much that it's harder for them to play on bottom sometimes.
Right.
But that's something that you and I have developed like over years.
Yeah.
But obviously their top game is insane. Like they have really good like systematic top pressure.
Yeah. So you're talking about preparing for Strangle, right?
Yeah.
So we worked extensively on the top position this time in the camp, right? So we worked a lot of scrimmage, we worked a lot of escapes. Because you already had good guard, I didn't need to focus a lot.
Yeah.
You also worked on your leg locks.
Yeah.
So let us go through your matches, walk us through your matches, what happened. Okay, so first match. Let's set up the background. What happened between you and Shabad?
Yeah, first of all, I just want to disclaimer, Shabaz's not a bad guy. I like him. He's chill. But he did, like, before the tournament, he was, like, randomly started talking shit about you.
Richard Munns, yeah.
Yeah, because I guess, if you want to,
Yeah. So what happened was me and Richard Munns were scheduled to have a super fight. Richard had already beaten me back in ADCC 21 in Goa. And he knee-barred me in that match. So this guy shares a video, a reel.
Dude, we could even put it up there, that the Miha match.
I hope he does that.
Yeah.
So he puts up a video of Miha knee-barring someone, and he said, I don't even remember what he said exactly, but he said something on the lines of, it's going to be a repeat of this, or
something like that.
We haven't seen this guy. There is one guy who has gotten a knee-barred like this, like something on the passive-aggressive tone.
So, yeah, some bullshit.
So I think you saw that, you made a story regarding the same, and what did you say in that story?
Yeah, I basically was like, yeah, you little bitch, like let's you and me, let's fight then. Yeah, if you're so fucking confident.
Yeah, and he hadn't signed up for a tournament, so for him to be talking shit.
Yeah, he's just like trolling, bro. So I was like, bro, like if you wanna actually like put your money where your mouth is, why don't you compete instead of
and the
chatting
competition
shit?
was happening in our backyard, like in Delhi.
Yeah, he lives right here. So yeah, he signed up and then.
And he was our student also for a while, remember?
Your student, yeah. Yeah, I guess you could call it, yeah. But yeah, again, not a bad guy. But so then he signed up and then we got matched up first round and you know it is what it is. But I had to put him in his place. For him. Yeah.
Bad few weeks. Even how the fight started was really wild. He just came aggressively pushing.
Dude,
at
he
no
literally
reason.
I think.
What are you trying to show there?
Yeah, that's what happens when like maybe technically you feel like it's impossible to win, so you might maybe like try to like rile up the competitor.
But if you shove someone, that's like the easiest way to get double leg, which I think you did also. Double leg them into the stratosphere.
Yeah, bro. I like fucking not
you
just
did a forward roll.
Bro, I did like the blast Rotolo double where I just like fucking.
So that really set the tone for the pro fight. I think that was the first pro fight, right?
Yeah, that was. Oh, this is the second one.
Second one.
And yeah, bro, and then I ended up getting the rear naked. But what's crazy, bro, is like usually when you choke someone out, they stop talking shit, no? But I remember, like as we were walking to Rajiv to get the like decision, dude, he's like, bro, I almost had the knee, whatever, like calf slicer. He's like, I almost had calf, like.
He had a bullshit lockdown, which you easily passed.
Like fucking no chance, bro. But yeah, he's a good guy. I like him. It's just a little bit of entertainment is all that was.
Alright, so that was the first match. Second match, who did you go against?
Gajendra Kharatmore, bro. Solid guy.
Match where you were in trouble for a bit.
Definitely.
Not trouble, but he made you work for it.
For sure. Like I was in trouble, bro. He put a lot of like good passing pressure. And so I guess he also has the MMA background where it's...
But he was not passing a guard. Come on, Let's be honest.
So he did, but the thing is, again, under ADCC rules is he doesn't get passing points. Well, obviously the first 3-4 minutes,
Yeah.
but also if I kind of put him under submission threat, which was my strategy, is like I would maybe not let him pass, but if he were to pass,
Buggy.
immediately throw on the buggy, where it's like even if it was the points period, as long as he is in the buggy, there's no points for him.
Plus,
Right?
when he tries to move back, you can recover. I thought that you're not letting him, he's not passing, but you let him pass just to lock on that buggy.
The first time, yeah, but the second time he did actually pass. He did pass me the second time.
What do you use? I can't remember any of the matches because I literally like.
Yeah,
read
bro,
hundreds of matches that day, so-
you would have had long ass day, damn. But I'm not sure what pass he used, but he I think it was basically like a stack pass where he got me inverted and he maybe like a dub locked hands and just threw me
Okay.
over. But yeah, obviously that was a solid competitor, great guy, and he had some really good passing pressure basically, where it's like he kept pinning my bottom leg, but then eventually I was able to use that the knee lever to retract that butterfly hook. I started using like some
Bro, the knee
sumigeshis.
lever, I'm such a big fan of knee lever.
Yeah,
One
yeah,
of the greatest application of leverage based moves in all of jiu-jitsu, and it's really painful to see how less frequently is it used, and it is
Yeah.
a gi move, by the way. It originated from the gi because in gi you can have like good clamp over the elbow, over the knee. For the people who do not know, it is a move that you do from the bottom of the half guard when you're completely flattened out. It's like just one step before you're about to get past. The person is about to tripod and insert the butterfly hook, split your legs open. So you can do this move where you can position both of your foot to the outside of the knee, clamp it down, clamp down the elbow on the same side. So now you've created essentially a trap and roll situation where you just swing your hip, and the more forward pressure they have, the easier it is to just roll them over. The most fluid sweep that I've ever seen, and then you have
super
a full
easy
series.
also. Yeah, super easy. Exactly. Like if they base out, then you can start inserting your butterfly hook.
Underhook,
Yeah.
butterfly hook, the entire series, and we have been doing that in our recent classes, recent weeks also.
Yeah, yeah. So I used that to get to close guard, and then eventually I threatened like a pretty bullshit arm lock with one of the hands just to get a reaction, and
Oh
then
yeah, you were doing that Rotolo.
like the shotgun armbar
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah, and then I ended up getting the triangle, and yeah,
That
dude.
is a great setup for a triangle though. Like when you're on close guard, if you just crank their elbow whenever they have that underhook, they'll always try to pull their hand out, and when they are doing that, their other hand will have to be posted on the mat,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that gives you the opportunity to slide your right leg out. Yeah.
Yeah, and like that, so that's something like I feel like I have a pretty decent close guard, and it's not because like I know more moves from close guard. It's just because I'm always forcing the action from close
Right.
guard. So if you like honestly the most, and this is why jiu-jitsu gets such a bad reputation, is if it's just a person sitting close guard and then a person sitting in front of them, it's like, bro, nobody wants to have like sex with you. You know, like nobody wants to see two people just like fucking. So if you can just keep changing angles from bottom, essentially that's it. Control their posture, change angles, then you can start threatening submissions.
Yeah.
And even if you don't get a submission, at least you get good just create some kind of motion.
You can
Right.
create opportunities basically.
Exactly.
Alright guys, so we'll take a quick break over here, and then we'll be back. Alright guys, welcome back to the Magic Pod. We were talking to Sanjay here about his Strangle appearance and his road to the finals. So yeah, 2 matches down, we go into the 3rd match. Who do you face?
Lalit, bro. Fucking we train with him every day. Great
Every
guy.
single day. And he comes after the first match with a like classic finish,
Yeah.
a foot sweep on
Dude,
Saikat.
luckily I only saw that after. Like I didn't watch that match, but if I had seen that I would be shitting myself. I'm like, bro, imagine if
You
Lalit.
wouldn't want to wrestle with him after that, right?
No, dude. Even before that, I wouldn't want to wrestle with him, bro. Like, I remember thinking, like, bro, if I lose to Lalit, nobody's gonna show up to my class anymore. So I was like, bro, this is a must win. More than the finals. Fuck the finals, bro. I need to beat
Finals
Lalit.
before the finals.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, obviously, so Lalit is awesome, bro, and you know he's got all the good fundamentals, good, just good jiu-jitsu, bro.
He has
Yeah.
great game because again, he's someone who I torture on a daily basis. Like whatever new move I'm learning, I'm going to go out and apply on him.
Yeah.
I'll force him to do a lot of positionals with me, even when he wants to roll with other people.
Yeah.
So I just like put whatever new thing I'm working on, I show it to him, and he learns it and goes and applies it on the different person,
Yeah.
on other people.
Yeah.
So that way he has developed his game now to a point where he's doing a lot of Gordon and stuff. He's
For
positionally
sure,
sound
bro.
from everywhere.
Yeah.
And recently we have also been working a lot on wrestling and the foot trips.
Yeah.
Again, I annoyed him a lot with foot trips when I was learning it, and then he started doing it, and now he gets a lot of good takedowns on me.
Yeah.
So he has developed as a good training partner, I would say. And yeah, the first match, even I was surprised. I was sitting in the corner and I was like, holy shit.
I was sick, bro.
I didn't have to say a single word of advice. The match ended like before it started in a flash.
Yeah. So I definitely didn't want to wrestle with him. So my whole plan was get tied up with him and pull single leg X. So I think that's what I did. Ended up getting a sweep and started looking for leg entries because I was like, yeah, if I were to beat Lalit, this would be the way. But he actually
Scrimmage.
turtled up.
Turtle up.
And that's when, again, this is the kind of, I guess, the new meta, especially for ADCC, is using the legs to kind of get on top. So that's what I did, is I used the leg entries to take his back and then ended up
Yeah, and
choking
you
him.
didn't even have the second hook at that point, right? You first went for the choke. As he defended that, he fell to the side. Then you inserted the second hook.
Yeah, so it's again that upper body, lower body battle
Dilemma, yeah.
where it's he was putting a little too much emphasis on defending the hooks.
Defending, yeah.
Where I had one hook in, and then it was hard for me to get that second one. But then I noticed his chin was kind of up, so then I went for that, and that's when he shifted his focus, and that's when I got the second hook in, I think.
Yeah. So that was a home turf match. So
Yeah.
the crowd was probably very split.
The Battle of Gurgaon, bro. Gurgaon battle.
And then we land upon the final match.
Yeah, we can wrap it up here, bro. I'm just kidding.
Devojit
And
from
that's
IJJ.
time, guys. Thank you so much. No, just kidding.
Devojit from IJJ. It's time when I say it's time. Okay. So Devojit from IJJ, another put on a string of beautiful performances, beat
Yeah,
a black
man.
belt, completely dominating him with body lock passing. He had no answer.
Yeah.
Mauricio, I guess that was the name.
Yeah.
He had no answer for Devojit's passing and pressure. And I remember rolling with him, Devojit, during the Assam Guwahati Strangle
Yeah.
last year, or probably this year, right? I think
December
yeah.
2022.
Rolling with him, and he had great base. Like I tried to sweep him, and it was very, very difficult.
Yeah.
So even though we had like weight differences,
Yeah.
so
And bro,
yeah,
you've known Debo for like years, bro. Like since 2018, 2017.
100%. So he was one of my favorite training partners at IJJ because he's someone who would never complain about anything. You can go as hard as him with him, as slow as with him. He's ready to flow. He's ready to go hard. He's super diligent when it comes to studying and
Yeah. Debo's the man.
analyzing games. So he has a good mind for jiu-jitsu. So
Yeah.
and he has made a lot of progress in terms of like competition because he has been so regular at it.
Yeah, I think that's a huge factor that people don't talk about is the people that usually win are the people that keep competing, right?
Yes.
Like, that have that experience also. And that's something I noticed when I was actually grappling with him is he's very calm,
Very calm.
very chill. And yeah, I think that was obviously part of the reason he snatched up that triangle so quick.
Yeah, so that was a good takedown on your part. You went for a cutback and something that we worked in the class. But the unfortunate part was because the nature of that cutback was that you had a tight waist around his back, your one hand stayed really deep.
Yeah.
And as soon as his butt fell on the ground,
He pummeled so quick,
he
bro.
turned his hip and immediately threw the triangle on.
Yeah.
And then you were in that triangle for how long?
Bro, it literally seemed like 30-40 minutes.
For ages.
Because I remember looking at Rajiv and I was like, bro, call the time, bro. Like, I need to get the fuck out of this.
It was
But
an
it
8-minute
was,
match, right?
yeah,
10
but
minutes.
I think it was 10, bro. It was 10.
minutes.
But I think I was in there for about 4 or 5 minutes, it seemed like.
Yeah.
And initially, bro, I was doing the, like, I tried to get the hand across and then break it that side.
Yeah.
But that clearly wasn't working. So then, as soon as I started to bring it over to start throwing my legs over.
What happened when you tried to throw the legs over? Because I was shouting that.
Yeah,
from
he
the
had
corner.
really good posture control, bro. So it was hard for me to posture up and then throw my legs.
Right, right.
So like as his hand was over, like my head was still down. So it was like I didn't have that ability to bring the legs over.
Were
you
your
know?
hand trapped? Why couldn't you hand fight the hand over your head?
Yeah, bro, I should have done that. I should have done more hand fighting probably.
But I think he was attacking your hand also from the get-go because
Yeah.
he was cranking on that Americana and trying to convert
he was
into-
on it, bro. At one point, I even like escaped it for a little bit, but then immediately transitioned. So that's what I'm saying, bro. Dave was like a game competitor, so immediately transitioned to the
He was
armbar.
very calm. Like otherwise, people in the final match they would be like, "Oh, money on the line, the Singapore trials on the
Yeah.
line.
Yeah,
I just want to finish it quick and be
Yeah.
over with it." He was patient. He switched his triangles, moved through 3 different triangles. Also was
Exactly.
once at that ankle senkaku angle, and
Crazy, bro.
then finally found your elbow and Americana pressure, right?
and essentially my elbow was like completely, and I was like, yeah, probably time to tap.
The surgery is probably more worth than the tickets.
It's close, but yeah, I think I made the right decision because I was done, obviously. But yeah, so obviously, who knows how that match would have gone in a different scenario. Obviously, like there's a super high chance that they both still would have won. But what I would have liked to have seen is like maybe, kind of how I would have been against him more on like the technical aspect.
Whatever he's going to say now, he dreams about everything.
Like more like position. Like I would have liked to have seen our jiu-jitsu collide a little bit more, like exchange of positions, things like that. Just
Basically, not much happened from your perspective because
From
you
mine,
were just
yeah.
stuck in a triangle.
he fucked me so quick that I couldn't do anything. So that's
Yeah.
done. Obviously, there was the man. But just in the sense of learning and takeaways, it would have been nice to see like positionally how we would have
Passing
exchanged
and
exactly
guard play,
how
things
my
like
guard
that.
would have looked against his. But obviously, they wouldn't need that. He was like, I'm gonna fucking finish you pretty quick. So all respect to him,
Yeah,
obviously.
and he's equally good from bottom and the top. That's the interesting part
Mhm.
because most people are not super well rounded. They have either one thing or the other going for them.
Yeah,
He's really good positionally from
Yeah.
everywhere.
yeah.
So Deepuk is going to represent India at the ADCC trials in Singapore
Let's go.
through Strangle. Obviously, we are also going to compete.
Bro, now's when we edit that. Hello, darkness. Like you keep talking about they were, and I just like look off to the side. Hello, darkness.
And
Can you do that,
the
bro?
camera fills in.
But yeah.
Hi guys, so let's move on from the depressing stuff, I guess. Let's move on to some fun sections. So we call this section Light It Up for obvious
Oh
reasons.
shit.
Okay, so we'll be right back. 2 minutes. Light up. So guys, as you can see, we got some smoke effects around us. This is part of the production value of the podcast. So now, moving on. Sanjay, we were talking about... What were we talking about? Yeah, we were just talking about
yeah.
his triangle appearance and what are the lessons that he basically you learned from that. And if you are a young competitor in India, you are looking to compete and become a jiu-jitsu athlete, definitely follow him and his journey because, as I said, he has been there and done that, and he's doing that also. So Sanjay, let's take some questions like from jiu-jitsu world in itself.
Yeah, sounds good, bro.
So we just heard the recent fight announcement that the Fight Pass Invitational, which is by the UFC Fight Pass, is coming back, and the main event is going to be newsflash: Craig Jones versus Felipe Pena. So what do you think
Sick.
about that fire matchup?
Crazy, bro. That's a great matchup. I think they also trained together pretty decently in preparation for Felipe's match with Gordon. So they'll be pretty familiar with each other's game. But I think it'll be a pretty classic top pressure. But that's interesting, bro, because Felipe's got a good guard. Maybe like not too many leg entries. So it'll be interesting to see how their guards play against each other.
He has leg entries, but he uses it to go to a sweeping position like X guard, not necessarily a heel
Right,
position.
Yeah.
Plus, he has good heel hook defense. We saw it against Gordon Ryan when he. But again, Craig is a guy who has too many tricks up his sleeve when it comes to leg locking or
Yeah.
any other position in general. What I would love to see is Craig playing the top game this time, especially the wrestling part, because he has been working on that for so long.
Yeah.
So him versus, and I guess Felipe won't be the one to immediately pull guard in this one because he's also a decent enough wrestler where he can nullify a lot of things from the
dude,
top.
Gordon and Felipe are on the feet for like 30, 20
Yeah.
minutes, bro. Yeah.
And he has good single legs, very underrated wrestling from standing position, and also good Kimura game. So if you shoot single on him, I remember a match against Busesha in that same 2017 ADCC where he won the absolute. He got him in a Kimura trap when Busesha shot for a single.
Yeah.
And then he reversed it from there. Even against Yuri, he did a good job initially.
And he actually has this pretty good omoplata sweep that he used against Nick Rodriguez.
Yes.
So he got him in an omoplata, forced the roll, and used that to get on top. So that's a pretty awesome. Like I love using that sweep as well. Like use the omoplata, not necessarily for submission, but to
just
get
to
top
get a
position.
sweep, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to be an interesting battle. And who do you pick?
Yeah, that's a pretty tough one. If I had to pick, I would probably pick Craig, just because of how, like you said, well-rounded he is, and he's added that top half guard pressure. Like we get a lot of our content from Craig, like you know, like
100%.
the B team guys, and he rolls with all those guys. I just wonder how Felipe would deal with that like varied game where it's like he's got top pressure, he could always fall back on the legs. So I think Craig's just got too many tricks, but obviously Felipe is a beast, you know. So it's gonna be just a good match, bro.
I think I'll go with Felipe because number one thing that Craig's cardio is always sus. So I think Felipe, if he pushes the pace in standing, first of all, it might just turn out to be a very very boring stand-up fight, as we saw in Craig versus Pedro Marinho, if you remember WNO. But I think that if it goes to the ground, Felipe will have advantage from the guard. He's not going to be easily leg locked. I hope so.
Yeah.
Plus, he was looking in fantastic shape for the Gordon fight, so he'll not be the one who will be gassing out first.
Was he, bro? I think Gordon was making fun of him, no? That he only benches so much or
But
something.
you saw how ripped he was. Like that was the longest time that I've seen him so shredded.
Yeah.
Plus
yeah.
the insane workouts that he was doing with Andre Galvao. So that'll definitely put him in the good shape.
Is he training at Atos for this camp? You think, or?
Let's see. I think the fight just got announced. So
Okay.
even Craig has not been in camp, right? He has been
Dude,
doing.
Craig's been chilling,
Yeah.
no? He's been kind of
He's been
doing
living the retired life.
He's doing the podcast life, bro. That's what he's doing.
El
yeah.
Segundo. El Segundo. If you guys know my Spanish. Okay, so that is UFC Fight Pass stuff. What do you think about this recent switch flip-flop that ADCC did with the Fight Pass, then back to the flow? What happened there?
Yeah, bro. I'm honestly like I'm just a filthy monkey. I'm just a dumb guy. I don't know too much, but I would assume it has something to do with like money, obviously. Like maybe the deal monetarily worked out with UFC, but I don't think the UFC Fight Pass was doing enough to cover all the ADCC Opens. I think that's
That's
essentially
what I also heard. They
what it was
didn't have
about.
that kind of resource or even.
Oh no, bro. UFC has a
Probably
lot
the
of
resource,
resources.
but they didn't want to do it. You know.
Some miscommunication between Mo and I guess the UFC. So then he got back to Flow. The only thing, bro, obviously Flow is phenomenal and has like elevated Jiu-Jitsu's like into the mainstream almost a little bit. So Flow is obviously great for that. But then the issue is that they don't have a pay-per-view model. It's always like the
Yearly
subscription for a year, bro.
yeah.
And it's weird because they don't have anything for regions. Like say in India, right? Where you could say overall like the earnings are a little bit less than the US. It's still the same price, you know? So it's like if they could mess with that or if they could change that basically.
Right.
Give
It's
us
super
a
expensive for someone to just afford like it is single handed.
for a whole
And
year,
they
bro.
don't give access to like even multiple accounts. It's just one account.
They did that recently, bro, because you remember we used to share. But then now we can't even do that anymore. Yeah.
So I think overall Flow is not a great product in itself. Like even finding fights and all is so difficult. The interface seems like from 1990s website. I think they can improve a lot there.
Flow zone and stuff, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, and even sometimes they mess up the fight stream and too many ads. First of all, in all those WNO events, like we
Yeah.
have to wait an hour with the ads. On a subscription service, basically they say that you don't need to have ads, right? Because
Right.
imagine that you're paying for Netflix and now you see ads in between. That would be super annoying.
Yeah.
So that is one thing. Let's move on to the question that probably Joe has for us. Joe.
Alright, so first question.
Yes.
There's a post famous on Reddit of Mark Zuckerberg caption.
It is like running around entire social media right now.
The caption is "This goes against our community guidelines." And Mark Zuckerberg, what do you think of him not only competing but actually getting the gold?
Sanjay, what do you think? First of all, how many people did he fight? Because I'm seeing just highlight from one match. So was it like
Who
just
looks
one?
like an idiot?
He paid off the
Yeah.
other guy, bro. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not sure, bro. I have no idea.
Just one man in the division. Probably he did that good old master's trick.
Good, bro. Good. If you're the fucking CEO of Facebook, you don't have to do adults fucking advanced, bro. You probably are not there for the cash prize. you know
Now
what I
we
mean?
can brag among his developer community or the startup community,
The CEO community, bro.
CEO community.
Startup? Did you say startup, bro? Facebook is not
Metaverse
quite.
is a new one, right?
Yeah,
Metaverse.
yeah. Facebook is literally the polar opposite of a startup, bro.
Yeah, it's a unicorn or whatever
Uh-huh.
business word that you want to use for it. But
Huh.
yeah, so I think it is a great thing to happen because now you can really point to the most successful entrepreneur in the entire world, to the businessman in the
Exactly.
entire world doing jiu-jitsu and
Yeah.
enjoying it enough to compete. So if Mark Zuckerberg can compete, who are you, bro?
Exactly. There's a
He
huge.
has-
You're right, bro. There's a huge difference between just doing jiu-jitsu and competing in
Competing.
jiu-jitsu. And like mad respect to Mark for like I just call him Mark. Homies, best friend. He's yo, yeah, what's it?
Let's just call it.
हाँ मार्क हाँ नहीं podcast कर रहा हूँ अभी हाँ बाद में बात हाँ
He's
okay bro.
surprisingly also
चल चल
Flag मत करना
हाँ
podcast.
हाँ okay bro हाँ and we're uploading to Facebook just promote हाँ okay चल चल okay bye. But yeah bro, so like I think yeah, mad respect to him for competing, like putting himself out there, you know,
Because he had a lot to lose. Like imagine him getting choked out or getting
dude,
twisted.
that shit would be everywhere, bro. If you think this is everywhere, imagine some guy just fucking gets behind Mark Zuckerberg.
That would be a meme. If he gets choked out.
That would be wild, bro.
Do you think you can take him, either of you?
Bro.
Bro, come on. This is not a question. It's like you asking, can you take me? Obviously,
yeah.
bro, he's a billionaire, but on jiu-jitsu mats,
There's only one minuscule aspect of life I have an up over him, and that's jiu-jitsu, bro.
I see.
Literally
actually,
any aspect of life, he would fuck me in the ass, bro.
Alright, question number 2.
yes.
This is a personal question. I've heard you guys say os a lot. What does it signify?
I don't even know, bro, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's just like from karate, where they say os after training, or it's like a sign of respect or saying thank you. But in Japanese, because we do Japanese so much, os. Okay. What else do you got? Anything that you want to ask about training, about what your observation in jiu-jitsu has been in a month of training jiu-jitsu? Because I'm sure a lot of people across India are very new to jiu-jitsu. They're just finding about jiu-jitsu right now, and they have started training, they have curiosity. So what did you like about jiu-jitsu which appeals to you?
What appeals to me is, as I said, the freedom aspect of it. There is some primalness that gets unleashed when you get to, circle around this person, then take that person to the ground, then keep circling around him until you go for, the neck or something. Of course, it feels like you're fucking the person every now and then.
Oh yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah.
It invokes a different kind of primal.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's really a good point. I think that's why it appeals so much to even a billionaire like Mark. Hey, Mark. Even a billionaire like Mark, where he has literally anything that he can do in the world with his time, and his time is so precious, and still he chooses to invest it training in
Yeah,
jiu-jitsu,
crazy.
and so there's some appeal like that, which I guess you can call it, and in a much more controlled situation. Yeah.
Yes. I guess in today's society, what is that one thing you can do but you let go? MMA, Jiu-Jitsu. Right.
Yeah. So Sanjay, let's talk about your future plans from here on.
Yeah.
So what are you looking to do in your MMA, in your jiu-jitsu journey?
Yeah. So I think a big one going forward, a big goal for me in general is winning ADCC trials. I think just being completely honest, age-wise, not the youngest anymore. And for me to have a goal of like being like best in the world, I feel is a little bit, I don't know, like I just feel it's unattainable, to be completely honest. Like the investment I put in is I feel enough to maybe win like a trials or something. So that's my main goal, is to win ADCC Asian trials or Oceania, whether that's like Singapore, Australia, Kazakhstan, wherever that happens. So I'll be training pretty hard for that, So it's just mainly no-gi ADCC rule set would be my focus the next few years.
Nice. And yeah, I like how you're very realistic about and very objective about your goals, because
Thanks,
sometimes people just I would like to quote Shabad again here.
Shawat's getting fucked this podcast, bro.
Remember last time when we went to our place together, we were talking, hanging out, and
Yeah.
we asked him what his goals in Jiu-Jitsu was, and he was like, winning.
He's like, बहुत simple. World champion or Nogi maybe world champion. Dono world champion.
Nogi, both world champions. So sometimes if you make very unrealistic goals like that, I'm not saying it's not attainable by anyone, but sometimes very unrealistic depending on the level that you're at right now and the
Yeah.
people who are like millions of miles ahead of you in level of technical knowledge,
Yeah.
strategical knowledge, or being there, done that kind of thing. So it's very good that you have just a specific goal in mind, which is very
Yeah.
realistic. Winning.
I think so, bro.
Asians,
I think it's
yeah.
possible. Yeah, put on some size, get some skills. It's
And you
possible.
can build your skills because we have seen guys from Australia do the same thing. Before
Yeah.
it was like in ADCC, who is this Asian guy? We don't even know about him.
Yeah.
And now Kenta Iwamoto has
Dude,
done it.
Kenta's killing it right now, bro. He even beat Keith Krikorian, who's like
Yeah.
one of the best in the world, bro.
Passed his guard, took
Yeah.
his back.
It's pretty like inspirational for us Asian guys, you know, to see that and be like, yeah, that's kind of a standard that he's set. He's kind of whatever, like trailblazer, so to speak, like the first one to do it from Asia, like successfully.
Craig was the first one who won the trials.
Yeah,
and,
bro, what am I saying? Yeah.
And then Lachlan also
Mate.
won trials and then became a huge thing. But I know Australian Jiu-Jitsu is somewhere like more developed when we talk about the rest of the Asia.
Right.
So, and that's why they call it Oceania as well, because that's kind of separate.
Yeah.
But yeah, next question on the same thing is, are you willing to do steroids for that?
Oh man, that's a
Because
tough
that's
one.
a key thing, and nobody shies away from it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
even ADCC organizer, head organizer Mo Jasim says he likes that steroids are legal in jiu-jitsu in
Yeah.
ADCC, and he's not going to change it. He has said it out so many times on his live
Yeah.
that he does not mind the sports be riddled with juice heads. Okay, he has
Bro,
said
can you
that.
imagine? Like I fuck off for a few years, dude. I come back fucking
Strong.
jacked, and then you're like, bro.
The third time is a
like,
charm.
You're like, bro, are you doing steroids? I'm like, nay, bro, nay. All natty, bro, all natty.
And then you'll quote some Nicky Rod lines.
I'm like, abhi susu karunga, abhi.
Abhi test karo. More plates, more dates. Aaj hi.
But yeah, it's a good question, bro. I think there's a lot of things I can do before I do steroids, in the sense that like my technical game can get so much better than it is at the moment. My strength and conditioning, bro, that's another thing. Nehansh has been running us through some fucking amazing workouts. Like very
Shout out to Nehansh.
Nehansh is the man, bro. Like
One,
the
our
man.
SNC coach
Yeah.
and the MMA fighter and a jiu-jitsu athlete all in.
Beast, bro.
Together.
Beast, yeah. So like he's been running me through some insane like circuits, which I think gets you ready for the pace of a jiu-jitsu match. But anyway, like when it comes to steroids, I think once I get all the other areas in my life sorted, like nutrition, whatever, technical ability, strength and
Girlfriend.
conditioning, girlfriend, like a hot girlfriend, then I can start thinking about steroids, you know, because at that point I've done everything else. But I think where people get kind of mixed up is they think steroids will somehow make you the fucking jiu-jitsu champ, which that is definitely not the case.
So here's the thing. Here's my view on it. So technique thing which you're saying, that is a part of the process. Even if you are on steroids, not on steroids, that technical development will go along the way. I think what steroids would help you with is they'll make you just train on an everyday basis more rigorously. You can put in more hours more efficiently.
Got you,
You can
got you.
lift more at the same time. Your nutrition will also aid in that. But all these things will just concurrently make you do whatever you're doing in as part of your process even
Just
more
faster.
efficiently and
Yeah.
faster.
Yeah.
So probably that's the only pro that people quote, and that's a big pro actually.
Yeah.
That you can do everything just twice the time and more efficiently, recover faster for the next day of training, where now you would feel like sore and you'll take it a little bit slow, where some days you can just push past it.
Yeah.
So that way
Makes
steroids really help a competitor, especially when it's legal in the sport. So
Would you would do steroids, bro?
I need to get a little bit less jacked than I am right now. So I think I might. Why not? As long as they're legal,
Yeah.
I'll definitely look towards it as an option. But for me, the biggest thing is, can I do it safely? Like, because a lot of people in India will peddle you steroids and you can
Bro.
just do something which fucks up a system. And I really don't trust my body to be able to handle a bad cycle,
Yeah.
you know? So
And then this one will also get small, bro. They'll be like, Kanga, Kanga.
yeah, so that can also be an issue. But for glory, bro.
Yeah, bro. Everything to be an
glory.
ADCC champion, bro. Anything. You fucking show a chick a gold medal, and then she'll be like, alright, let's do it. And then you're like, nah, I can't, bro. I can't. Too many steroids.
First of all, nobody who you show a gold medal is going to be like,
Bro,
yeah, we can do it.
80cc gold medal is different, bro. 80cc
I
gold
think
medal.
Kenta would disagree from you.
Bro, Kento doesn't have an 80cc world's gold medal, which obviously he's got the trials, which is my goal, so he's my hero, obviously. But yeah, we'll see, bro. Maybe 80cc trials medal. I'll let you know, bro, if it works, huh? When I win. And you let me know, bro. You'll fucking be winning 80cc trials at 88 fairly soon.
Yes, I'm into that. Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that, bro.
Cheers to that.
Amen and amen to that.
Amen.
But that'd be awesome, bro. 66, 88, if we can clinch those. But dude, I mean, it's obviously a tall order, and but that's the thing, bro. There's no specific timeline for us to get this done. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't put unnecessary pressure on you because some
like
people
we
do
talked
that.
about,
Just
yeah.
the next 2 years I have to win it after my career is over. I think Lachlan Giles has shown us that you can even be like 36 and
Yeah.
still be winning at the ADCC World Championship
Crazy,
level.
bro. That's when he popped off to like the next level at that trials, bro.
And nowadays, if you reach the level, like this is why I would say like you should not even cut yourself short in your journey. Even once you win an ADCC trials, you
I'm
can-
done. I'm never doing jiu-jitsu
You
again.
can definitely compete at the highest level. You'll have the necessary skills because see Isaac, he's a great example.
Yeah.
He wins the trials, destroys people, and then goes and gives Wagner the toughest match. Wagner is someone who every time consistently makes the podium and gives him the best match of the year.
Yeah.
So skill wise, you automatically attain that level where you can go and give these pros a problem.
Yeah,
like how
bro,
Craig
yeah.
did against Leandro and
Crazy.
Murillo in that first one.
Yeah, I think that's just mainly because of the like training philosophy at B team.
Right.
Like the different positionals they do,
Yeah.
different like escapes from bad positions, scrimmage wrestling.
These
These are the things.
They have tailored their style for ADCC.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Like, their whole
That's the
focus
style.
is that one tournament.
So, bro, that's like a great transition. What do you think is the perfect style for ADCC? Like, if you were to have a prototype that you can give them this guard, that guard, this passing, these takedowns,
Okay.
what's like a perfect individual to win ADCC?
So if you look at statistics, most of the people who have won ADCC have been technically a dominant player, like top dominant player.
Yeah.
So that's one style which will always work in wrestling. That's evergreen. That's being a good wrestler, being able to put people down on their butt, and then impose your top game.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of style is great. But having said that, you should also have a guard because if you don't have a guard, there will be times when even if you are the fantastic wrestler, somebody will pull guard at you and then start to entangle your legs and then
Yeah.
put you down through a sweep, and then you will feel clueless, and that's where you lose the match.
That's where they can also wrestle up and start body locking.
Yes.
You.
So as I said, wrestle up. So you should have a guard and you should have a lot of wrestle ups in your guard. Because in Nogi, trying to work the sweeps just results in scrambles or people just nullify it.
Yeah.
All pass
Especially,
you.
yeah, 3-4 seconds till points. It's hard to hold someone down if you're just
Yes.
sweeping them.
And again, as I said, one other fantastic point, hard to hold down. So that's the scrimmage wrestling concept, which is very,
Yeah,
very important for ADCC as well, which is the ability to get back up consistently and counter people while they are trying to put you down.
Yeah.
So basically counter wrestling. So that is another important part of the game which you have to develop if you want to win and consistently win in the ADCC rule sets.
Yeah, definitely, bro.
What do you think about our own girls in the gym and their performance at Strangle itself and how you see their growth? What do you think about it?
Yeah, it was good, bro. It was Anna did great. She had a good single leg X entry. I think she tried to sweep, but maybe where she made the mistake was like not coming up, like we talked about for ADCC. I think who
Divya's
was
performance.
Divya was great.
Sonia's performance.
Divya's a scrapper. She like is always in the fight. She's got like a good.
Her versus
heart.
Proma was probably my favorite match of the tournament because they were just going back and forth the
Yeah,
entire
dude,
fight.
it was a very very close fight.
Sweeps, reversals, back
Yeah,
takes,
yeah.
escapes. It was everything.
Yeah, dude, that was that was a great match.
And then
Yeah.
finally, the star of the tournament, our gold medal winner,
Manini.
Manini.
Yeah, bro. She did awesome. She did great. She got I think like a mounted triangle.
Did you see the recent trash talk between her and Proma on Instagram?
What are you saying?
Yeah.
There's beef.
There's
Dude, there's
beef,
always
guys, there's
beef,
beef.
bro. Always beef.
So I think first of all the beef is good. It's good natured. It's good natured, and we need a little bit of trash talk. Like even your and Shabbat's thing, it does not bother me much
Shabbat, I love you, bro. I love you.
because it's fun for the audience also, because now there is some sort of rivalry, some storyline. So what Proma was basically saying is that oh, she won because she has 15 kg on me, and when she made a post she was like, do it on people who are your size. So I think that's an unfair statement in itself, because you knew what you were signing up for. You went in that division. Her point was she never fought someone bigger. So we did not shuffle the brackets according to your own advantage or disadvantage. Even Sanjay would know, because we created a random bracket. He came to know about his fights only when we put the brackets up. So you had no idea. You can testify that, right?
Yeah.
So we did not give a lot of our guys buys. So we tried to be as fair and neutral as possible. She was the biggest in her division, which was the rule that you can be under 65. She weighed in under 65, so it's not her fault. But yeah, being bitter about him.
Nah, but yeah, maybe in the
bitter
future
about
we'll
losing.
have more like weight classes or whatever. Like, but that's once the scene grows a little bit, like, because there's not that many women that compete, so it seems a little bit unfair to have like just two women in one division, especially if there's like a cash prize, you know.
Right.
So it makes more sense because that's essentially like a super fight if you think about it, right? And the skill level is not quite there to make it a super fight. So, but yeah, get way more women into jiu-jitsu in India, and there will definitely be more weight
And
divisions.
we were very open to having like another women weight division, like even till the last few weeks. More people for the under 55 so that we can create a new division.
Yeah.
Me and Rajiv had like a lot of conversations about this.
Yeah.
But we couldn't find many people who signed up, so we had to make it, because you can't,
No.
as I said, you can't make a division of two people. So yeah, we try to promote like more and more females into the sport. We try to get more people to compete. Now it's upon the competitors to show up and compete in large numbers and grow the division. There are like, I guess there are more women who are training across India. So having them in the next editions of Strangle will also be great. And this time the women's division was so on fire that it showed other women also. It gave them confidence, I guess, who are watching online, that it can be a fun thing to compete. And as I said, the rivalry is the storyline that comes out of it. That's fun.
Boom. Let's go.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So on that note, what do you say? Yeah. Oh, you have a question?
So last question. Two of your fights, not just one, two of your fights, two players backed out. Tell me your thoughts about it, unfiltered.
I mean, I was pretty disappointed, especially with the first one, because Richard Munns was someone who I was looking forward to compete against, and I was preparing against him by trying to get my wrestling better. We used to do a lot of wrestling positionals in the lead up to the competition, and I was trying to fight him because that would be a great ADCC match prep for me, because he's the guy who has a good top pressure, has good wrestling, basically all the things that you see at the ADCC level, trials level. So he was unfortunately not able to compete due to some commitments initially, and then he also sent me some pictures where he was injured.
Damn.
So speedy recovery to him. Hopefully we can get that match in the future.
Let's go.
We're also going to Nepal next month,
Nice,
so we'll
nice.
definitely be able to hang out with him and probably train with him. So that's something I'm very excited for. The second match was against this purple belt from Germany called Dennis. He reached out to me right on the day that the Richard Munns fight got cancelled, and he said that he's looking to get a super fight, and I was like, yeah, cool, let's go for it, because I just got my match cancelled. And then everything was good. We were doing the fight posters, we were promoting it a little bit on Instagram, but then 10 days before the fight he's like, I cannot compete because I haven't trained in a week, I was sick. But the funny part is the next day I see him training on the roof on some stories. So that was more disappointing because it was so close to a tournament. Like I was really amped up, I was really training hard even in the last few days, last few weeks.
Yeah, bro.
And we were all training as a team together, so it was a good fun, good vibe as well. So just cancelling out a match on basis of not being able to train for a week or so, like that's not the great way to get super fights in the future.
That's weak.
Right. So again, if you're seriously sick, we cannot do anything about it, and that has to be the way it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was disappointing on my end, 100%. So
Yeah, bro.
looking forward to get some, again, the string of my competition matches getting cancelled or me not being able to compete
bro,
does not
that
end.
sucks. Yeah.
Because I was looking to compete in ADCC at Thailand, the Bangkok one. We were planning to go together as well, but I got one of my students fighting in Kazakhstan during the same date.
Yeah.
So now I have to be there with him because he does not have an external coach.
Yeah.
He's been training with me for a while.
Crazy, bro. It just keeps going on one after the next.
Yes, but I'm excited for Kazakhstan experience.
Yeah,
though,
that'll be
because
sick, bro.
Kazakhstan is new emerging powerhouse in grappling. They recently had Gordon and Mojasim also visit them. They have this promotion called AIGA Global, which is like a big
Nice, bro.
grappling platform. They keep inviting Craig also there.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. Kazakhstan's like huge grappling hub, you know,
And they
in
come
Asia.
to ADCC as well to
And they're
compete.
good, bro. They're
Yes.
like really good.
I follow a couple of good grapplers over there, so I hope in those 2 days I can find some time, get some training with them,
Yeah.
and take a look at whatever I've been doing in wrestling. If it's working or not, probably work some scrimmage against those wrestlers.
Yeah, bro. It'll be cool to see,
Yeah,
especially
good
against like
opportunity.
pure wrestlers, how it
Yes,
works, you know?
Yes.
Because they might
I'll
have
get
some
a true
tricks.
test.
No? You might get like,
Yeah.
you
But that'll be
never
great. At least now I'll know what to prepare for. So I'm treating it
Yeah.
as a competition, going in, training with them.
know. Like before training, he starts getting fucking hyped up.
I'll be like, the other guy will be like, let's roll right. Like,
Yeah.
sure.
Light
let's
roll.
go.
Piyush puts his mouth guard and he's like, let's fucking
But
go.
I wouldn't trust any wrestler when they say let's roll right.
Yeah,
Right
bro.
anyways.
Light and wrestling, light and jiu-jitsu are two different things, bro. Bro, that's cool that Mark Zuckerberg is a wrestler, bruh. Huh? No guard puller.
No
I
guard puller.
thought that dude would pull like supine guard, bro.
I thought he would be playing the deep half guard.
Cuck guard, bro.
Alright guys, so I think that has been our time. Thank you so much Sanjay for coming here and talking to us. Hopefully we can soon do one more before you leave.
Absolutely, bro.
Where are you leaving to, by the way?
Potentially Australia, bro. We'll see. Like, I still have to wait for visas and stuff like that because that's obviously a whole process in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do the farewell podcast if it happens.
Farewell pod, huh? Yeah,
Where
sounds
we'll,
great, bro.
Be nostalgic about some of the memories that we have had.
It's been a pleasure, bro.
Yes.
You're by far, bro, like, and I've done jiu-jitsu with a lot of people, but like, there's very few people that have the technical ability that you have and the mind for jiu-jitsu, bro. Like, this man spends like at least 4 or 5 hours a day, like, heavily researching technique, going deep into jiu-jitsu, and I know I've benefited immensely just from being around Piyush. You know, just the aura of Piyush, like, because you will start developing like a very technical sense for jiu-jitsu and things like that if you're around him, because that's how he views it, and it's a privilege and honor to know you, bro.
Thank you. I think the money that we paid him to come here and do it, he's just trying to
Mark,
make
bro.
it worth
Mark
it.
gave me. I don't. 5 minutes.
Account
Podcast. Okay, bye, bro.
Yeah, so guys, that has been our time. Thank you, Joe, for helping us out. Next podcast, hopefully we can do it together
Boom.
and expose your beautiful face to the camera. So guys, that's it. Till next time, magic
Subscribe, like, subscribe. Also, guys, I'm doing a seminar in Jaipur. So if you're in
Almost
Jaipur,
forgot.
check it out. There's gonna be a bunch of bullshit submissions, mainly from Close Guard.
What place though in Jaipur?
Oh, School of Combat. Just in Jaipur, Jaipur Fort. School of
Anywhere
Combat.
You can find monkeys.
Yeah, just check out my Instagram if it's over here.
What's your Instagram?
Yeah,
Yes.
here.
I'll put it on your face.
Yeah.
Alright guys, os.
See you. Thank you. Awesome, bro.